Carling Black Label Cup. Swallows replace Amazulu in 4th place. The voting for the 2022 Carling Black Label Cup continues, and there are now 3 Soweto clubs in the top 4. Swallows FC have made strides in their attempt to participate in the inaugural tournament as they have replaced Amazulu in 4th position. As things stand, Swallows have accumulated over 33,000 votes while Amazulu are currently on 19,559 votes. As previously reported, Kaizer Chiefs lead the votes with over 207,000 votes, and they are followed by Orlandopirates with almost 148,000 votes. Mamelodi Sundowns are still third with almost 71,000 votes, and as things stand, the 3 Gauteng clubs appears likely to feature in the one-day tournament on November 12th. Coming to the DSTV Premiership games this weekend. This is the most exciting fixture of the weekend. It's Kaizer Chiefs versus Supersport United at the FNB Stadium. After a slow start to the season, Matsat Sansa entered the game on the back of 3 consecutive Premiership wins against Richards Bay, Mamelodi Sundowns and Maritzburg United. Meanwhile, Chiefs are without a win in 3 league games. Things have clearly not gone according to plan for the Soweto Giants this season. They lie 14th on the standings and have won just 2 out of their 7 games this season. Ahead of this massive match, Jimmy Tau and Teko Mudise'S share their perspectives of the clash as former players of Chiefs and Supersport.
All right, Supersport Chiefs, Donna. I think Chiefs are coming into this one as the underdogs, purely based on form. I think they haven't done exceptionally well until this far. They currently find themselves 14th on the league standings, and I think there's a call for concern. And playing against Supersport, which has just turned the corner because they also didn't have a good start. What is your take on it?
I think the biggest problem that Kaizer Chiefs are facing, which is the home team, I think it's just scoring goals. Because the lack of confidence, I think, in front of goals, I think that's the issue. And with that as well, start opening up other, other issues as well, from defending and from probably maybe a lot of the players that are expected actually to raise their games and they're not. I think for me, those are the concern. And you going into a game like Supersport against Coach Gavin Hunt, you would want to turn the corner around, especially with this game. And I think for Kaizer Chiefs going into this game, being an underdog, maybe it might be a situation where it actually can help them because then they'll play maybe with less pressure. But the disadvantage of playing for Kaizer Chiefs.
But then the Chiefs, with pressure. They played a draw against Marumo Gallants over the weekend. They were trailing for the better part of the game. The coaches come into this game. Coach Gavin Hunt has coached at Kaizer Chiefs before. He comes in against his former club. Arthur Zwane was his assistant coach at some point. So I think there's a lot to talk just on the coaches ahead of this game also. And
I think knowing how Gavin Hunt operates, I think is more of a coach that deals with the psyche of the players. And himself going back to where he was, and things didn't go well with him being a Kaizer Chiefs coach. So I think himself as a coach, I think he'll be hyped up to actually make sure that he gets the results there. And Atazwan as well, looking at the coach that was actually worked with. So he will be hoping now, you would see probably maybe there's an opportunity for him to turn things around because he's under pressure. If there's one coach man that is under pressure between the 2 coaches, Atazwan, to turn things around, and you look at how Kaizer Chiefs are playing, there's a lot of conversations as to, is this the Kaizer Chiefs way? Is Arthur will be given enough time time actually to turn things around? So that is, for me, that's interesting on the bench.
Yeah, and also I think just it takes us back to when we were playing, playing against Coach Gavin Hunt has never been easy.
I didn't like it.
No, look, it made it very difficult. The planning ahead of the game, tactically, you have to make sure. I mean, when you start a session and you are practicing throw-ins, and corner kicks, how to defend your set pieces.
Because that's how he's going to come.
That's how he's going to come. That's always been his strength. And with Coach Arthur, with his playing style, that he wants to have an imprint on this team. Have you picked up where the strength of Chiefs could be, and also just maybe taking us back to your days when you played?
Look, I think from a Chiefs perspective, because FNB Stadium is such a huge pitch, they might use the pitch better because they've got players that are capable of playing the ball on the ground. And then maybe using those spaces where Keegan Dolly or Kamabila, hopefully they're on the pitch to maybe try and turn things around for them. Because for Supersport, you look at how they want to play. They play more like a percentage type of football, where they normally midfielders, they play with the second ball once it drops, and then they make sure that they in the opponent's half. So maybe with that, I think it's going to be maybe one of those games where Supersport might punish Kaizer Chiefs in terms of set pieces because you've got Hlatswayo, you've got Ditlhoko that is very dangerous in set pieces as well, you've got Krobla as well. But also I think the element, Supersport, I think the most dangerous player right now is Reynolds because of his speed.
Yes, of course, yeah.
I mean, listen, like whenever he cuts in from the left-hand side, I think his technique and as well, he's comfortable playing crosses with both left and right. And knowing that Krobla enjoys playing in and around the 16 yards, so he's going to get more of the balls in terms of the crosses. Yeah,
and I think when you're talking about that, it also just picks on the defensive blunders the Chiefs have made against Maruma Gallants again. Yeah. They conceded in the run of play. Yeah. And when you look at how they conceded, I think it should be a call of concern for the coach also, Coach Atazwan, then say, what do you fix? Because you're not scoring goals. At the same time, you're conceding. They've only scored 5 goals thus far.
That's very
and
concerning.
They've conceded 8. Yeah. So their goal difference doesn't really paint a good picture. And, you know, and they're playing against a Supersport team that has really picked up form. And it could be, again, the best time to play Chiefs from a Supersport point of view.
Of course, I mean, you look at also how Supersport won against Amazulu Sundowns. You know, the confidence after that, you know, going into Maritzburg where normally people don't win on that pitch and being able to get maximum points. The confidence from the Supersport side is very high. And I think one thing that Governor will probably do is try and make sure that they sack the players up, make sure that they play the best that they can. Because if you look at both defense, both centre-backs for both teams, there's no speed. So Kada Onale Dupre's that also can be able to punish Supersport with the speed. Kamo, you've got Reynolds as well. So I think it depends on who manages the space of the pitch better, because I strongly believe that Supersport will not play a high line because they know that Dupre's will be there. For Kaizer Chiefs, because of how they want to play, build up from the back, they might be forced to play high line. Look at how they conceded against Maruma Gallants. You look at the space behind. So for me, that's the concern. I think that's where the game actually will be won and lost for them.
And also coming to this game, I'm trying to pick a key player for Chiefs. I think we had built up on Sekota as we were doing the Maruma Gallants game. And I think for me, faded in and out of the game. And a game like Supersport, I think it affords him another opportunity to really do much better than he did against Maruma Gallants, because I think he was a bit isolated. You know, they couldn't play him to his strength behind the defense where he's able to either go wide, get a one-on-one situation, you know, because they were chasing the game again. So he changed the whole preparation of their game. On Supersport, you're looking at a player like Reynolds, maybe a Gabuza who could maybe give them a different...
You know he's going to come in as a sub player.
Because Krobla is doing well.
Yeah, Krobla is doing well, but with Gavin Hand is playing such games, he always have some kind of ammunition on the bench to make sure that he continues with what he wants. Because he'll probably play maybe a high-pressing tempo game, making sure that Kaizer Chiefs are very uncomfortable, they don't get that momentum as well. So that's where Krobla becomes very important in terms of calming things, being able to engage with other players, hold off play. But you look at how Supersport plays. If there's a long ball that goes to Krobla, you look at Reynolds, you look at Lungu, start making those runs because he wants to flick the ball. So Kaizer Chiefs needs to be very careful. So now as Coach Atazwan, how do you prepare now? Do you say we need to step back a little bit, just manage the space behind? Or do you counter-press, making sure that the defenders, Tulani, now being back with his previous coach, he understands how he plays. He likes to dink those balls into the striker. So how do you prepare as a coach if you're Atazwan?
If you're Atazwan, you try, you're playing at home. So you want to impose yourself and take control of the game, but also be mindful of the fact that you are not playing well. So as much as you want to risk by taking the game to the opponent, you also need to be wary at the back as to how covered you are at the back. So I would say your building blocks have to be from the back going forward. Have a solid line where there isn't too much space behind you. At the same time, allow a player like Kune to make sure that he plays a super role as a keeper. But at the same time, try and also disturb the supply behind, meaning that you need to find times where you need to press and hold your line a bit higher up. Or at times you need to make sure you come back into the second zone to just make sure that Supersport doesn't get that space behind you.
It's got to be very difficult to do all those things, especially when there's lack of confidence within the team itself.
Confidence is key.
Because I think you go into this game knowing that in the back of your mind, you look at all the games, you haven't picked up too many, victories. So defensive mode, it's out of the question, especially against Supersport playing at home. So it's going to be very difficult for Coach Adazwane to be able to even select the first 11 that's going to play. Because you look at Abu Khatib when they came in against Gallants, they changed the game. Do you start them now because you're playing against Supersport?
Look, I wouldn't say I would start them. I would start with the team that started against Marumo Gallants, whether it's Itebe, Matt, and George Matlo in the middle. But once again, just tilt the diamond shape a little bit, because I think for me, they are going too much in the defensive once they have the two guys pivoting in front of the defense. Rather switch it around. Have one player
One and
sitting
two,
there. Yeah, 1 and 2. And for Supersport, you take one of their 3 midfielders to go and add as a pivot against you. Because then you have space around your holding midfielder who now is also going to be key on your build-up phase. So that midfield is going to be very, very key for Chiefs.
Yeah, because I also think that if Matt starts understanding properly as to that role that he plays, once he's in position, once he's comfortable enough, because he's comfortable with both left and right, he can be able to play those games. It's just that for not knowing how Gavin Hunt thinks as well, when Matt goes deep line to try and collect, he needs to be worried as to how does he turn. Because if you can't be a 6
and receive with your back.
Exactly. So those are the pressing traps that you'll see Maseko, you'll see Mbata, you'll see Magemani trying to press there to try and create opportunities for this. So I think Matt as well, it's going to be very key if Chiefs want to start the ball from the back.
Okay. Look, we're looking forward to this one. I think there's a lot we can discuss about this game.
Yeah.
So hopefully the coaches are putting all the work to see what we can expect over the weekend. But good luck to both teams over the weekend.
Don't forget to come back later to watch Kaizer Chiefs versus Supersport United from 7:30 p.m. and tomorrow it's Mamelodi Sundowns versus Amazulu. I've left a link to our WhatsApp group in the description below this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button down below, subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss out on the live action and updates like these.